In the middle of the night, where I camped, a fox got hold of my, let's call it a water bag, basically, where I had my extra water stored. Dragged it a few meters away from my tent, tried to chew on the cap and somewhere at the bottom. Luckily, it didn't puncture it, so I had water in the morning. Starting the descent from Ruined Peak. There's a shelter in the peak just right behind me. Already been there yesterday, so I'm just gonna follow the road down, and I have to call the border police. I already spoke with them when I was in Kirstendil, but still they asked me when I start my descent from the peak today to give a call to the their all shift personnel. Dobrodošli in North Macedonia, or welcome to the Republic of North Macedonia. I'm currently at Carev Vrh, at 2000 meters, so right off the bat after the border. But the funny thing is, if we turn this way, so just over here, it's Ruined Peak, which, to be honest, it's most probably not more than, I don't know, 6-7 kilometers. I haven't checked it properly how long it is on the maps, but definitely a lot shorter than what I actually did because of the borders. I had to descend down from Ruined Peak to the border crossing of Bulgaria and North Macedonia and cross there officially. And then soon after the border crossing into Macedonia, I was on my way back up to the same area. So now I'm going to continue my descent down this way towards Makedonska Kamenica. Making the last few kilometers to town of Delchevo. Descent yesterday from Carev Vrh was fairly easy, good dirt roads, savage mosquitoes. I don't know, all of a sudden after Kitka Peak, and there's a water source just before the peak, so it's also a good spot for camping and obviously taking it easy after the border and the climb to Carev Vrh. Yeah, all of a sudden those mosquitoes, savages, even though it was windy, they were still managing to hop on me and start biting. So I was pretty much, eaten alive by them. But made it pretty much 8 kilometers before Kamenica, made camp, hid in the tent just before the mosquitoes got out again, and left from there today. So it was Sunday, so everything was closed in Makedonska Kamenica apart from one Burekčinica, which is like a breakfast kind of thing, so you can get a quick bite from there. But any shops or anything else was still closed until 10, and I was there at like 8. So there's another more important thing that I want to bring attention to, that this stretch from Makedonska Kamenica to Vetren or let's say like 6 kilometers before Delchevo. It's a dry stretch, so I've been hiking it all day, and apart from meeting a few locals here and there and asking for water, there is no reliable water source until a piped spring just 6 kilometers before the town of Delchevo. And I also got information about this spring from a local person. Either way, I would have not known about it and most probably missed it. So, dry stretch, carry enough water and stay hydrated. Ooh, that was a climb. So, currently at the ridge of Pehchevo mountain, and that was a good, pleasant and steep climb at the end. Peak Kadica just in the back over there. If anybody fancies it, it's yours. Well, I'm going that way. And yeah, so yesterday was a really hot day. Today is looking okay. There's some clouds, a little bit of shade, but couldn't make it from Delchevo all the way to Pehchevo yesterday, even though it was like 44 kilometers on the mileage. But yeah, I left getting into Pehchevo this morning, which was actually better that way. At least the water along the way was good, available, but that's after you see it, you know. And most of the times I'm kind of hiking blindly along a drafted trail because we don't have all the information during this ground verification. The colleagues have drafted the trail supposedly through areas where it's good, it's popular, there's water, but sometimes I don't see that on the maps, and it is quite daunting hiking, preserving your water, and not knowing that, well, 3 kilometers ahead there is water, so drink up and feel better, put it that way. Because last night there was a situation like that, climbing up from Crnik, small village, along the way to Belobordo, and I saw on the map that there should be some streams and some water, but no confirmation whatsoever regarding it. So I'm kind of like hoping there will be water, saving the one that I have, and when I get to the water source, pretty much drown myself to rehydrate very well and then continue on the way. Well, get ready for some views. It's mountain Pehchevo today, Ograzden tomorrow, and from there I'm making it back down into the valley and crossing, well, getting to a very important crossing, but I'll tell you about it when I get there. So I just want to point out to you guys, just over there, it's actually Pirin and Rila mountain. You could see it from the ridge here. The weather, obviously, it's quite hot and hazy, so the camera can't really get a good glimpse of them, but my eyes and yours, if you get here, will definitely see this spectacular view of 2,000 and above meters high mountains. And if you're asking why the Balkan green belt doesn't go through there, well, both mountains are outside of the boundaries of the European green belt or the former Iron Curtain, so sadly we couldn't get them in, but as I mentioned, they look quite spectacular from here too. I'm on my way down from Grajden mountain. Well, it was eventful the last couple of days. GPS track was running off a little bit, so in some occasions I was kind of like on a road, descending and following it very well, but way off the GPS track, then reconnected again. So overall it was fine. I mean, a bit stressful, but this is what I guess ground verification of a trail looks like or is like. Then from Kadice Peak in the ridgeline, went to Cengine-Kale and then descended down to Breza and Berovo Lake. Don't get your hopes too high. Just because it's a lake, it doesn't mean that you'll be able to go in for a dip. But the shores are simply too high to actually descend down and go for a swim. But also there was something interesting. The moment I kind of like started descending towards it at a particular elevation, it got so humid my glasses were fogging up like every 10 minutes. So it was pretty much a 50-kilometer day yesterday because I couldn't camp down there, and I wanted to get to a high elevation with a drier climate, let's say, or drier air, so I can actually sleep well and not be soaked by the morning. Yeah, so today made it up and over Grajden mountain. The climb was a bit boring, to be honest. It's mostly logging roads, but then the descent is long and easy, which is pleasant. Actually, the whole descent is around 20 kilometers. On the way down, I went through an archaeological site called Novo Selo, or Red Village, translated. And it's quite interesting, though. It seems like it dates like 3 after Christ. There is a signpost there telling you a lot about the whole place and how people used to live, what their traditions were, etc. And last but not least, on the way down, you actually get an amazing view towards Belasica mountain, majestic mountain range, which is a border mountain between Bulgaria, North Macedonia and Greece. So I just left Novo Selo. The trail splits into two here. One goes to the rest of North Macedonia, the south border with Greece, through Albania all the way to Montenegro. And the other direction goes to Bulgaria and Turkey for a little bit. And then it reaches the Black Sea coast. So if you're hiking the Balkan Greenbelt, you're gonna have to make that choice. So currently I'm going back to Bulgaria. I have some work commitments of the ground verification process to complete, and then the plan is to actually make it to Montenegro and start the hike from there through Montenegro for a little bit. It's a very short section there, but should be very beautiful. Then get to Albania, through Albania to the Prespa and Ohrid region, Prespa and Ohrid Lake region, and then all the way back to Bulgaria to complete the trail at the Black Sea coastline following the European Green Belt countries in the Balkans, or as we call it, the Balkan Green Belt. So crossing into Bulgaria tomorrow, and then soon after we'll see each other on Montenegro soil. See you guys.